a clock that comes up here in 1 second. When that clock starts, it'll be time.
Are they gonna?
You're in. You're going. It's on.
All right, cool. All right. The thing I did want to touch on before we get started is the Bucks basically allowing some barber who had COVID to cut their hair, and he didn't just cut anyone's hair, right? Like he cut Pat Mahomes' hair, bro. Like that's literally the championship in the balance. It's just like super irresponsible, just stupid, and it honestly could have ruined their Super Bowl chances as well as just ruined the whole weekend because nobody wants to see a Super Bowl. Who the hell's their backup? What's his name? Chad Henne? I don't want to see Chad Henne play. I mean, Chad Henne was cool to watch like for 1 quarter or whatever, but that's my rant. It was just really irresponsible. And if these dudes can't have an afro like me for another few days, then I don't know what to tell you. So
I don't even know if I'd call that one an afro.
That's tight.
So long.
All right. Ding that bell. All right. So we'll start off with the first thing I thought was on tap for today was what we talked about yesterday was the – well, here, you know what? Let's reverse back for a second. This is Parlay Weekly. It's a Super Bowl special one, so I have a special guest of Mark Woelfel here as well, a big Tampa Bay – I wouldn't call it big Tampa Bay fan. I would say a big Tom Brady fan. So we have him. We have Chris per usual as well, and we're ready to go on this one. It's going to be a little bit longer of a Parlay Weekly, but we'll have the bets for you, all for the Super Bowl, and let's get this sucker started. So, Chris, we started talking the other day about on the NCAA video game that they're coming out with, and it's been 7 years now, almost 8.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, I think the last one was either 2013 or 2014. It might have been the last time they came out with it. I wonder if they're going to, I don't know, are they going to pay the players? How is that going to work? What do you think?
See, that's what I thought too, but it's still like a lot of questions because they're just like, yo, we're making this game, and they haven't really gave us too many details. But you know what I honestly think these guys are going to do because they're not trying to pay the players? They're literally going to have different numbers as well as like different like facial features, like different like characteristics than the actual players, but basically have the same like attributes and skills as they do on the field. So the players will look totally different than they actually are. So that way they can bypass not paying them, but still basically everyone knows who they're using and knows the specific player that they're running with. If you ask me, that's what I think, because I just don't think they want to pay him. And to be honest, I don't really see a reason why not to do that. So
what I think about it is it'll probably be like the best part is it'll be super white. Let's see. Let's think of a quarterback that we'll think of for next year. Zach Wilson's gone. Lawrence is gone. Fields is gone.
Sorry,
use Spencer Rattler.
Okay, Spencer Rattler. So he's kind of like Jimmy Graham. He's got that like lighter skin tone. He's like a ginger.
He might be albino.
Albino, right? So okay, so that means that they're gonna make him like Nigerian black. That way that they don't mix it up with anything, and they'll just change his number, pretty much.
Right. Like imagine Lamar Jackson, but just like the whitest guy out there. Like that's exactly what I see them doing, and I don't blame them because they used to try to do that anyway with some players. So like they would just give a player random dreads, and I was like, what the heck? So
yeah, it's an interesting one to think about because those players want to get paid, but also, that game is going to fly off the shelves. It's going to have probably record downloads, kind of like how Warzone had downloads. It's going to be gross because it's 7 years later that finally you get a game that we've played.
Can I ask a question? So why has it been 7 years? Is it because of the image and they can't figure that out related to the amateur status of these guys? So they've waited 7 years to reintroduce this?
Yeah, I believe it was because I think around that time they're like, oh, well, you might have to start paying them. Gotcha. And they were like, Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think we're gonna do that. So, I don't know how the idea got started. I know it was a bunch of pent up demand, and I know every time I would go online, everyone's like, "Yo, I want another NCAA. This would be so cool." So, they probably figured a way to do it where they don't have to pay the players and still make the games, or maybe they even pay the players or have something like that. Because in the next couple of years, players will be able to make money off their likeness anyway. So.
It's a weird one, I think, with that one. Just with the video game, especially because I know they had the basketball one too. They both ended the same exact time. Probably the same thing comes with basketball if they redo it again. But I think what will happen is that you know how on the cover of the old games you had RG3, they had you had Robinson, you had Blake Griffin on the basketball one. I think now it'll just say NCAA. That's it. They're not going to put a player on there. It's nothing. Or if anything, what they'll do is they'll put maybe whoever was the first round draft pick into the NFL, pay him that, hey, you're going to be on the cover at NCAA, and that just for shits and giggles, just to get people to buy it.
Yeah, that's what I would think. They might use a guy that went to the draft, or a rookie, or even like someone that basically left college in the last few years. It would make sense, at least until the rule passed where they can make money off their image and stuff. So.
Yeah. All right, so I want to move forward now because that was going to be a little slower one and not much going on with that one. I thought it was just good to talk about.
And I don't have anything to add to NCAA 21, so I'll be a lot more fun for the rest of the topics.
All right. So let's move forward to the Super Bowl here. Now with the Super Bowl, I wanted to right away start with the bets if we could. And so with the bets, I ended up putting in a couple, crappy bets, like $2 bets or whatever. But I also put in I took a parlay with the over under. So here, this is the first pick that we have. All right, so it's the Bucks at 3.5. I don't know if you can see that. So it's 3.5, and then it's an over of 56.5, I believe.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that one, Mark?
I think the spread's correct. It started right around 3. I think it's come up to 3.5. Listen, the Chiefs have lost one game in a year and a half. Like, no one realizes that they lost a meaningless game that they almost beat the Raiders for. Like, I know they haven't been great against the spread the last 6-7 weeks. I get that. But still, this is one of the lower spreads they've played against or up against. I know it's in Tampa. I know they're not traveling until later on in the week. It's a little bit different. But, I mean, I know where my heart is. I know what I think. But if you're a gambler, and I believe all the early money, so you even know this, all the early monies come in on the Chiefs. If you look at what the hold is right now in Vegas and some other places, the majority of the money's in the Chiefs. Brady does influence that a lot. But yeah, if I'm a betting person, I'm not betting with my heart. By the way, I'm going to the game. I will be there. I leave tomorrow. But if I'm a betting man, I definitely go for the Chiefs.
Yeah. He's going to Tampa Bay tomorrow, and then he's going to the game on Sunday.
Holla. Who
Yeah,
gets to do that?
That's crazy.
That's pretty dope. Yeah, going from one place to another. So
Yep.
Yeah. Well, all right. So we'll get back to the bets here in a second. I wanted to just bring up that one first. I know you don't like that one with the plus 3.5 because I know that you're riding Chiefs all the way.
Yep.
But I like the over of 56.5 there because I think if the Chiefs can run the ball, here we go. If the Chiefs can run the ball on Tampa Bay's defense,
you can't. You cannot run the ball against the Chiefs. They have one of the best against the Bucks. They have one of the best running defenses in the league. They will not be able to run against them.
But I think that's the only way that'll happen, that we can get over that 56.5.
I disagree. So if they're going to run, it's going to turn the clock. The Chiefs can score so fast. I'm not saying that the over is not in play. I think it is. Because those quarterbacks are good, Chiefs are explosive, but they're not going to be able to run. They will not be able to run against the Bucks. But they will be able to pass. You saw what they did. I mean, Mahomes had record first half against the Bucks when they played in the regular season. So I'm not saying that I don't like the over. I get why someone would go. That's a high over, by the way. 56 is pretty high for a Super Bowl. I don't know what the stats are, but it's pretty high. But yeah.
Yeah, Chris, what are your thoughts on that bet?
Um,
Remember,
yeah,
we're tagging that bet with Parlay Weekly. That's my bet, and that's my little parlay for Sunday. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you lost me at the 3.5. I'm obviously a big Chiefs guy, so I do see it being a close game, but I see them covering 3. I think it's like maybe 5 to 7 points. I think it's just weird when I watched the first matchup and I just seen just like how dominant the Chiefs were, right? Like I just don't think the final score really told the story, because I did think they took their foot off the pedal and sort of relaxed like throughout the game and allowed the Bucks to get right back into it.
Agreed.
So I honestly think the Chiefs will be able to win this. I won't say with no issues, but I think it'll be fairly easy. Like they should be able to control most of the game, or if not, there'll never be a moment where you feel like, oh, the Bucks are actually going to win this, right? Like if you ask me, I think the over it's just like it's pretty high, to be honest. And I get it, and I know Mahomes was able to have a spectacular performance against them the first time, but especially with like Kansas City's O-line issues, like and just the Bucks line and just able to put pressure on Mahomes, it's tough. I think it'll be really, really close. If I had to bet, I would probably pick over, just for the simple fact is I know the Bucks are aggressive and are going to try to be aggressive and know they have to put up points. And I think the Chiefs also, obviously, like even with the O-line issues, Mahomes is just amazing. So I like the Chiefs 3.5. And if I had to pick, I would pick the over. It's a little too close for me, but if I had to, I would pick it.
All right, so I have a
Here, before you go for it,
Yep.
either slide in
Oh, yeah.
or talk
Got
louder
it.
or something.
better.
There it is.
All right, so I have a corollary. So I'm a big Patriots fan. I was at the Super Bowl in February of 2008 when the Patriots were 18-0 and they were playing against the Giants. This Super Bowl has a lot of similarities to that. You got a one-loss team that's explosive, that is, scoring a ton of points. You got sort of the upstart Bucks who continue. They weren't great during the year. That their defense had some trouble. Their defense has actually been very, very impressive in the Super Bowl. So I think if there is a team equipped to play well against the Chiefs, like I think this is a really underrated matchup. I think this is really great. And so the Bucks kind of remind me a little bit of that '07 Giants team that was a 5 seed, just like the Bucks are right now, that won 3 games all on the road, I think, and got to this. Like I really like their chance. I get anyone's point related to I would never bet against Mahomes and the Chiefs. They're incredible. Everyone's trying to catch up with those guys. But if there's one team right now that's equipped to play them well and maybe get the upset, I think it's the Bucks. And if you have a guy like Brady as your quarterback, that I know he threw 3 interceptions last week, but he typically takes care of the ball. I really love the Bucks' chances. I know I'm a homer, but I think it could be great. I'd still bet the Chiefs, but I'm telling you, there definitely is a narrative where the Bucks take this thing, especially being at home.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, because everyone keeps talking about Brady, right? And even if the Bucks do win, I'm not saying Brady won't have a good game, but I think it would be a lot more to the story. Like I just don't think Brady's gonna like outsling Mahomes or anything. But I think you are right. Like the defense has just been good. Like watch it when they played Aaron Rodgers, it was just crazy because you could almost feel the Packers with the momentum, and you're feeling like, oh, the Packers are gonna go down here and score, and then just for two straight drives, right, to like get them out early on a 3 and outs. Yep. It was just it was crazy, and they basically you don't want to blitz Mahomes, right? Like he was shredded all day. What the Bucks do have the ability to do is generate pressure just from the line and drop everyone back in coverage, which we see. Obviously, you can't really stop Mahomes ever, but you have a better chance at doing that than blitzing him. And we've seen him at times struggle when you put a bunch of dudes in coverage and just able to get pressure up front. So
If it was any other quarterback than Mahomes, I think the Bucks would be the favorite. They really, from top to bottom, actually have a better roster, and they don't have the health issues related to the Chiefs on the things they have on the lines on their offensive line. So it should be. I just hope there's talk about rain. So I hope the weather keeps up. I hope it's a fantastic game. I could see the Chiefs being in control of the entire game, and I could see a situation too where there's like a backdoor cover. So I love the spread. I think the spread's in the right spot. Can't argue. I'm not passionate one way or the other who's going to win, but I know who I'm pulling for.
What I will say is this: is that, and this can obviously go into the next one, but we'll wait before we go to Tom Brady too much yet, because I think he's tagging himself. Okay, the way I look at this one is this: is I know you guys I know Chris, you don't really watch hockey that much. I know you really don't watch hockey too much either, unless it's playoffs, Bruins.
Yep.
But I will say this: 2 years ago, Las Vegas Golden Knights became the first expansion team in a long time. And what did they do? They went to the Stanley Cup Finals. They ended up losing
To the Capitals.
and so yeah, right. And I thought for sure Vegas was gonna. I mean, I didn't think for sure Vegas was gonna win, but I thought that what a storybook ending that would have been as a expansion team first year, pulling having Fleury as your goalie, everything right, hit all of it.
Yep.
And they didn't get it. I think this could actually be one of those storybook endings again, and that's the only reason. I'm not gonna lie. I think if it was the Patriots this time, and I apologize, if it was the Patriots and the Chiefs, I'd pull for Mahomes 100%, and I would say, sorry, Tom, but that's not happening. I don't want you to win. You don't deserve it anymore. But I think it's just a perfect storybook ending. The man has issues with the coach, whatever else, and we'll get into that in a second here, and end up having the storybook written ending, especially with a potentially Breeze ending his career, Phillip Rivers being done, Big Ben is on the last straw, or he should be, Rodgers may be on the move. Who knows if he says, hey, I don't really like it here anymore. You have Deshaun Watson, he wants to go. The Bears have questions. There's so many different aspects going into 2021 already, with Matt Stafford already going to L.A., Goff going there. You also look at Matt Ryan, who's getting older. There's so many, we're coming to the end of such a great quarterback era, right? That I think this would be the perfect storybook end for a Super Bowl. And not saying that he would retire this year, but it would.
No.
But if he won, it would just be like it would be that cherry on top. And then if next year, obviously, he goes again, then it's the sprinkles. You know what I mean? Or it's the hot fudge.
I will say, I think Mark is right, because I think if you look at both sides of the ball, I actually think the Bucks are more talented on both sides. Defensive, I mean, the team on defense, it's just sort of ridiculous, like the speed and everything. But offensively, everyone will be like, yo, that's weird. But I mean, if you take Mike Evans, right, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Gronk, Brait, you take Ronald Jones is a really, really good back. You take Fournette. It's actually ridiculous. And I'm not – and the Chiefs obviously are really, really good too. But, when you – have to stack those players on, it's really Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, right? There's no one else that you would even put in the same range as any of those guys on the Bucks besides them. And Mahomes obviously just makes them amazing. So I will say, I don't think it's a lock by any stretch of the imagination that the Chiefs will win, because I definitely could see an outcome where the Bucks win. But if I had both teams playing to the best of their ability and at their peak, I would take the Chiefs. So.
All right, so this is what I want to do before we get into the bets. I want Mark to fill not only you but me as myself and the audience here. Mark, how many Super Bowls have you been to?
So I haven't actually funded the tickets. I've signed an agreement to fund the tickets, so I assume I'm going to number 9 on Sunday. Number 9.
All right.
As in the Beatles.
What's
number 9,
so out of
number 9.
So okay? Let's count this one out. Let's not bring that one in yet.
Okay.
What would you say out of the other 8? Give me your top 2 favorite.
Everyone would always think it's the Houston the one that was the second one in Houston where they came back from 28-3. Everyone believes that has to be the greatest thing. It actually was a really hard game to watch. At halftime, just before halftime, I was pissed that they didn't score a touchdown and they had to go do a field goal. I didn't even watch the field goal. I was in the bathroom when Lady Gaga started playing, and I was like, "Oh, that's right! Like I forgot the Super Bowl. Like they have great halftime shows." I had already been to 6 of them. I forgot because I was so pissed because there was no way I could reconcile how they're going to come back. So it was 21-3. They get down 28-3. That thing's over. So it was really, really hard. And even as they got it closer and closer, it's the most improbable win ever. To make two-point conversions, to get to a point, Matt Ryan made 2 egregious errors related to getting sacked. And there was a bad holding play. So they just should have never been in the game. If Shanahan, who's the offensive coordinator, who's now lost 2 Super Bowls, because he probably should have won the last one as the coach of the 49ers if he played that one right too. It really was a miserable game for me. And once they won, it was the greatest experience ever. And I would talk to everybody for the rest of my life that I was there at that game. So you'd think that's that, but really. The second Super Bowl that Brady won, 32-19 against Carolina in Houston, that was probably my favorite. I wasn't, unfortunately, at the one in New Orleans when they won their first one. So I think for every great every Patriot fan, that's probably near and dear to their heart. I was in Scottsdale for the one where Malcolm Butler intercepted it. I couldn't get tickets. So that one was, I was here, but it, wasn't it. So yeah, that was probably one, 2 was the second Super Bowl that they won. And I guess the Atlanta, but it wasn't as good as you think. The Eagles Super Bowl that they lost was probably the best. Like that was so much fun. And I expected them to win the entire time. And they couldn't pull it out at the end.
The only one I can think of that I feel like probably had to hurt the most was the Tyree
I was at that game.
catch on the helmet,
Yeah,
right?
well, I'm not going to say that game. That game was
That one probably had to hurt the most,
Yeah,
I think.
That one hurt a lot.
I remember I saw that one. I remember we were in it was funny actually. We were in Sears Tower, or now you call it Willis
There's
Tower.
nothing funny about that, Kyle.
And it's funny where I was. I remember where I was. That's all I remember. But hey, you know what? Fuck you. You guys got like 30 other Super Bowls.
Oh, we're good.
All right. So we're gonna run through these picks, semi-quick, but not super fast. All right. So the next one is a field goal over under, or it's exact amount. So I did an exact amount for, I believe it was 5 field goals, or does that say 6?
5. It says 5.
All right. So I picked it for exactly 5 field goals. It's a plus 1,000.
It should be plus 1,000 if you're picking an exact number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm digging it. I like it. That's the reason I picked that one. I just like it. It's a good one. That's it. That's all I got to say about it. There's nothing else I can really dig deep into. It's a kick. It's a field goal. I don't know. Who cares? All right. Next pick. It's a dumb one. I don't even know who this man is. What's his? I don't know how to pronounce his first name.
Hardman.
Mecole Hardman.
Yeah.
Number 17, one of the fastest guys in the field.
I have him as the first down touchdown scorer. I bet $2 to win 10. It's just a kind of throwaway bet, but I just kind of went for it. What would you say the overall chances are over there, Chris?
I think I wouldn't say it's super slim because he did get in the end zone last game. I wouldn't say it's super slim, but if I had to pick one from each team, it would definitely be Travis Kelce for the Chiefs, and then if I had to pick for the Bucks, it would be Mike Evans. For sure, because they love going to him. The ball will be on the 1 or 2, and they go it's just like clockwork. So if I had to pick 2 guys that I think has the best chances, it would definitely be them 2.
And I haven't seen the props, the actual odds, but I assume Evans is like 6-1 or something like that, which is actually that means he's one of the one most likely to score, because it really is a crapshoot when you're betting first touchdown. But I love your Evans pick. I love Kelce pick. But these are always fun, just throw a few bucks on something, and who knows what happens. Yeah.
Hardman is the dude that screwed up the punt return and then ended up coming back and helping them like 2 play or whatever 5 plays later or whatever it was, and He like ran down the ball, like ran 60 yards downfield or whatever it was, and he got scored that touchdown too, which was huge. All right, so the next picks that are coming in are your picks. If you want to read it out and kind of just do a quick, quick reasoning behind this one.
Yeah, so I feel like this game could come down to a field goal, so I wanted to buy like a point. DraftKings is doing a 55% boost with the max wager of 50, so I wanted to use it on this because I feel like this has a really, really good shot of hitting. It's just the Chiefs winning by 2.5. So,
yeah, I like that one.
I see them winning by 3 or more if they do win. So.
Yeah, I like that one as well.
All right, I'm going to call out Chris in this one. So he thinks the Chiefs are going to win. They're going to win by 3.5, but he bought points to bring it down to 2.5. So it doesn't seem like you're as confident as you once said.
Yeah, I won't say I'm the most confident because I could literally see some backdoor garbage happen. Them up 10, they cutting it to 3, or I could even just see it being an extremely just close game as well. And I think if they win, it's at least by a field goal if I had to guess. So.
Bringing it down to 2.5. I like it. But
yeah.
That doesn't mean you're confident if you're buying points. I'm just saying.
And I felt like I might as well, since it was a 55% bonus, so it would definitely help me just a little bit.
I like
so.
That. Okay, I'm just giving you a little crap. That's all.
All right, so this is the next one. I really like this one. I don't know why, because it's a half a yard. So Tom Brady has to get more than half a yard.
I love this one, actually.
For a plus 140. 40 to win 96 or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I love this one. I saw this one and I said, I got to get this one.
Yeah, I don't really envision them winning, so I don't envision a kneel coming into play. Also,
good point. Really good point.
A big play of Tom Brady having to like get a quarterback sneak because I know they're going to be aggressive. So anything 4th and short or like anything by the goal line, I literally see him because he's really successful running the quarterback sneak. So I just see him doing it at least once. And I honestly only need to do it once and pick up a yard. So
maybe go ahead.
I love this one. So Chris, really great points, right? Brady is literally like 92% in his lifetime on quarterback sneaks. He'll do one of those. I do feel like he's had a few moments in Super Bowls where he actually has run for a first down because no one gives him. They don't stay back for him, right? So I like that. And I also where he does not win this bet is because of the kneel downs. So Chris makes a really good point that if they're not going to win, he's not kneeling and he's not getting that negative half a yard or whatever, or negative yard that brings him back. So I get his point why he wouldn't like it, but he had a great run in that the Atlanta Super Bowl. I just feel this guy's we'll see, but I love this bet. It's a half a yard.
Yeah, right. Like
half a yard
for Tom Brady, right? That's the best one.
Yep.
I really like that one
Fun
too for sure because. I don't remember the game, but Peyton Manning did it where they're on like the 4-yard line, and it looked like it was going to be a halfback cut, and he ended up rolling all the way out to the left. And I remember like Peyton Manning didn't just fool the team, they didn't just fool the crowd, they fooled the camera. The camera was still sitting on like the middle, and all of a sudden you see him running on the outside, picking up those 4 yards, and who knows, right? So that half yard, I love that bet. When I saw that one pop up, I immediately want to jump on that one as well.
Love it.
All right, so we got the next one.
Leonard Fournette. I actually really like this bet, plus 120. I actually think I might, when it's all said and done, put $100 on this.
I like it too.
He scored last 5 out of 6 games. He's been like their go-to guy as far as like in the red zone, and he's been really good and has a lot of momentum going into this game. And I think they'll be able to run a little bit on the Chiefs down there. So, I like Leonard to score.
Love this one. What do they call him? Playoff Lenny. He has not had a great season. I felt like he's been really slow. He has terrible hands. Like they need him to be a good ball catcher out of the backfield. He really has been difficult. But like you said, Chris, last 5 or 6 weeks, particularly the playoffs, that run that he had last week for 30 yards was Barry Sanders-esque. He literally like went like this and turned around. Like it was incredible. Playoff Lenny's awesome. I think that's a fantastically live bet. And good bet.
Yeah, especially any time during the game too. That's awesome. Does that include overtime as well?
Yes, they all.
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then we got the next one. All right. So this one's I like this one too. I mean, it's over. So Pat Mahomes has to have 2 touchdown passes in the game, and that's including overtime, correct?
No, in the
No,
first
just first
half.
half. It's first half.
Oh,
Yeah.
just the first half. Okay, sorry. I see that at the bottom. All right. So I mean, I would take it. I think. All right. The way I look at it is that the only way he gets this in the first half is if Chiefs get the ball first. If they win the toss or they elect to receive or whatever else, they get the ball first. I think so because I think what Tom Brady will do, and we'll bring it up in a second with Tom. We won't get too much into Tom. I think that the Bucs will kind of make it a slower beginning. I think they'll kind of ease their way into the game, nice and easy. They're a new team come postseason to the Super Bowl, right? Where like as the Chiefs, where they're already so comfortable and they're so damn good that he's gonna sit there and he's gonna do a play action the first pass and he's gonna go, all right, I'm gonna chuck it down deep to Cheetah down the right sideline or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like if the Bucs win that toss, then it's a little different. But also I like 2 touchdowns. I mean, 2 touchdowns, how hard is that? Especially if I'm taking the over. I want that.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, the thing I thought about, I actually think both teams are going to be pretty aggressive. Like, I think Tampa Bay is going to be pretty aggressive because I just think that's the way Bruce Arians is, and I think they know they have to score points. So I actually like for the Chiefs to see at least 6-7 possessions rather than they be like super slow grind out. And if I had to pick Mahomes to score 33% of the times and throw a touchdown pass, that's what I'm going to do. So that's why I picked it.
Yeah, I got a couple things to say about this. One, I already said they cannot run against the Bucs, so maybe they get a 1st and goal at the 4 or the 2, and they're going to run that in, or Mahomes does one of his little option things or something, and that you don't get credit for that. By the way, he's got to throw him; he can't run it. So these guys are going to score 30 points. And he's gonna score. He's gonna throw 3. I like the. I bet you the overall bet's 3.5 or something. That's probably the number. The reason why it's plus 180. I mean, that's a pretty, 2 to 1 for a guy that throws 40 touchdowns. They don't expect him. You're more than likely he's not going to win. That's why you're getting plus 180. That's why it is. It's the first half. He starts slow. So
Right.
I like the other side of that one. Not to say he's not going to throw 3 or 4 touchdowns, but
Right.
I think I think for sure he does start slow, and so.
Yeah, you make a good point in him starting slow. I honestly found good value in the bet, and like I said, I think both teams are aggressive. They see 6 to 7 possessions in the first half, so thought it'd be a good risk.
All right. So then we got this next one. This is again yours, Chris. If you want to talk it out, this was that Brady Mahomes combined for 55 or plus more completions.
Yeah.
Okay. Full game. That's including overtime.
Yep.
Completing overtime. Go ahead. What do you got on this one?
I mean, like I said, I honestly really like this game to be aggressive. I think the Bucs defense is going to come out and actually give Mahomes some fits, and he is going to start off slow. But I do think both sides are going to be aggressive, and I think they're going to throw the ball. It's just going to be a lot of throwing, and I would not be surprised if the Bucs take an early lead, but I know both teams like to throw, and I expect it to be somewhat of a shootout. Even though I was a little hesitant about the over under, I do think it'll get there. It'll be close, but as far as 55 completions go, I think it hits it right on the head. I mean, I think they combine to throw 100 times, right? So, and I think they'll have about 60 to 62% completion percentage because like I said, I think Mahomes might struggle early on. So I think they throw over 55 completions.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one a lot, actually. It's the best part, too, about Vegas and about wherever the odds are. Who knows who makes these things, like where they're sitting. You know what I mean? That's the best part about all of this, right? Mostly Vegas or wherever they're sitting. But they're so close on most of these things. Most of the things that they create, it's right there. I mean, like normally when you look at the over-under, too, especially for like basketball games, for example, You do the over-under and you decide, all right, I'm going to take the under of 216 and the total's 217. And it's like, well, how the hell did they, it's so much. I mean, it's the analytics behind it and all just the math and just these guys are watching sports like they're watching sports like we breathe. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the best way to describe it. And I really like that 55. I think because you are right. If the Chiefs can't run it on the Bucks, the Chiefs defense is pretty good too, right? I mean, come to the run, I believe.
They got smoked by the Browns, but they definitely played big in situations. Last week, I think they played really well. But I don't want to rant about Josh Allen, but it was a lot of things that they were able to do last week. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks thought they could run on them because I think you can run on them. But I just see them being aggressive.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are very underrated defense. What's it, Spagnuolo? I already
Yeah.
have that guy. He was the defensive coordinator in 2007 when he beat the undefeated Patriots. They do have some big game players. So I think they give up some yards, they give up some points, but they make some big plays when it's necessary. And I love that. I love the Honey Badger. What's it, Tyrann Mathieu? Like that guy is just a ball harker. He's around everywhere. So, yeah, I 55 is an interesting number. Vegas knows. I think Brady. I don't know what their game plan would be. It will be different than it was the first time. Brady's a dink and dunk guy, but look at the biggest plays they made. I mean, he wasn't great in the second half last week, but he had 4 plays over 30 yards or over 29 yards. I think because Gronk had a 29-yard catch last week. So they're throwing the ball down the field, but when you get those chunk plays, a lot of times you're not getting those 3-yard completions.
Right.
But we'll see. Again,
Yeah.
love the bet.
Yeah, that was a tough one, and that's like even and just real quick, how you were saying Vegas is so close, right, on the lines and everything. It actually is pretty ridiculous. Like someone that bets like definitely like damn near every day. It's just like amazing how close they are. So I expect that one to be pretty close too.
So, all right. So the Chiefs, I can't tell you the exact ranking, but points per game, they allow on average of the 16 games they played this year around 23, 22. Rush yards almost at 2,000. Passing almost at 4,000. While the Bucks in 16 games, same thing, right around that 22 mark for points. But for rush yards that they allowed was about 1,200, almost 13. But their passing is about 4,000. But rushing yards per game, this is the biggest one. So rushing yards per game is 80.6, so about 80 for the Bucks,
I think they're second or third.
while the Chiefs are 122. So great stat lines, man. I'm pretty good at pulling that sucker up. I'm not gonna lie, I gotta shave that one off a little bit. I feel pretty good about looking that one up. I didn't even have to ask anybody. I went to some weird. I don't know. I gotta get off this website before it eats my computer up or something. But yeah. So all right. I 55. Love it. Let's move to the best part of this little ticker here is Tom Brady. I think he deserves it on his own. This is my 30-second rant. I will not do a 60-second rant like you, Chris. Even though I forced you to do it. I think greatest quarterback to play the game. I am personally. I hate to say it, but I think that that Pat Mahomes, if he continues on the path he's on, he'll surpass him, no problem. Or maybe not no problem, but he'll surpass him. But Tom Brady, I mean, name someone else that you can say TB12 and every single person in that room will know who you're talking about. But you can't say MT10 and you know that I'm talking about Mitch Trubisky. Okay, there's no way. It doesn't work like that. TB12. I think he's a fantastic quarterback. I think he is the best of the best. I think he'll go down. I know he will go down in history as the greatest to ever play this game. He's 43.
Yes.
43 years old. He he's the worst quarterback to play against because you can't sack him super hard because he's smart, and that's why he's still playing at age 43 because he sees someone and he knows right away, my ass is getting to the ground. Because worst case scenario, that guy hits me late and I get 15 yards. And then I'll hand the ball off a couple of times because I wasn't expecting that. I should have lost 5. Instead, I got 15. Whatever else. He's so brilliant, so smart. Sure, it was weird seeing him throw 3 interceptions last week, but he won. There's a difference between that and seeing Russell Wilson this year, and we talked about it, Chris, this year, is he threw, was it 4 interceptions in that game? Against the Arizona Cardinals? I believe it was 4 interceptions that he threw, something that we would never, ever see from Russell Wilson. And it just, Tom Brady, TB12. I mean, I don't know. I got so much more to say, but I don't want to sit here and go ahead.
I'll let you go, Chris, and then I'll fill in all the blanks you guys missed.
For sure. I mean, we're talking about him being, probably the greatest not even probably the greatest quarterback of all time, but he's not even probably. He is one of the greatest athletes and most dominant athletes of all time, no matter what sport you're talking about. I think it's amazing what he's been able to do, his level of consistency, his ability to win. I mean, I remember last year during the pod, I would always take up for him because I really thought that Patriots team and the people that they put around him offensively was so bad. It was awful, and everyone's like, oh, Tom Brady's washed up. But if you actually watch it, Tom Brady was still able to make throws and everything. His receivers wasn't able to get separation. They weren't able to get open. They didn't make plays. They didn't catch the ball. I could rant on and on about that team. But I think the best thing, craziest thing about Tom Brady is he still has, I think, a decent amount left. I'm not going to say a lot, but like when I watch him, it's not more so like I'm like, oh man, he's almost done, right? Like you obviously do watch him like, all right, he is a little old, but he can still make a lot of really, really tough throws, good throws. Like a lot of times he hasn't looked well this year. It's because him and the receivers are really not on the same page, right? It's not like his ability not to make throws. The only thing I will say is, right, like obviously he was never mobile or anything, but especially now when he doesn't even want to get hit, he has a tendency, if he feels pressure, to possibly just throw it and just like make a bad decision, as we've seen him do like throughout the year. But I think he has a decent amount left. I think he's one of the greatest athletes of all time. And it's sad that, I feel like he didn't get as much credit. And I think, so real quick, him and Bill Belichick, I know everyone's like, oh, is it more Bill Belichick? Is it more Tom Brady? But in reality, I think both of those guys are the best to ever do it at their positions. And I think neither one finds that success without the other. So
I'll start with Mahomes. I know we're talking about Brady. Mahomes, I believe, will, when he retires, will be considered the greatest quarterback that's ever played the game, as long as he can stay healthy. Quarterback. I think Aaron Rodgers, I think John Elway, I think even Peyton Manning to a certain degree is like better quarterback than Tom Brady. But Tom Brady is the greatest leader. He is the greatest winner. What he's done this year solidifies it. In a year in which we had COVID, no OTAs, no preseason, brand new team, Buccaneers, the losingest franchise in professional sports history, for him to be able, and it wasn't great always, but he got there. I'm disappointed about the 3 interceptions. One of those was a touchdown. Evan should have had that. That should have been a touchdown. The other 2, there were 50-50 balls. You just threw them up. But if you watched him in the first half, he slung it. That throw that he made to Scotty Miller was unbelievable. There was a throw along the middle that Johnson should have had that he dropped. They had a few drops in the first half. Like, this guy is still slinging it at 43. He's playing more. I wouldn't be surprised. He's gonna honor his contract and play next year. I wouldn't be totally surprised if he plays beyond that. As long as he's competitive and it's fun for him, he's gonna play. But one of the greatest competitors of all time, and I like for him that now that he's got away from the Patriots, I think people kind of appreciate him a little bit more. It's real easy to hate Tom Brady when he's the player of Belichick. Belichick is really easy to hate. Again, respected, but he's a difficult person to handle. and everyone hates the Patriots. Everyone was sick of the Patriots. Everyone was sick of Tom Brady. But the fact that he's here again now and he's playing in the Super Bowl, I think this is interesting. If it was a Disney movie, you wouldn't believe it. You really wouldn't. So I hope he plays great. I'm always hoping he shows well. And if he wins this thing, he should just retire. But he loves football that much, he won't. He's going to play again. He already said he will.
It's funny that you say that it's if it's Disney. Yes, if it's Disney, chances are he wins. If it's a PG-13 movie, he loses, then he comes back the next year and he goes undefeated and wins it. Right? That's a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to bring this up because I thought this was interesting. So obviously, unless you think differently, but I think Chris. I speak for Chris and myself. I think Aaron Rodgers solidifies MVP this year.
Yep.
And so he finished the year with 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, for 4,200 and a 70 percent completion rating. Pat Mahomes finished this year with a 66 completion percentage. He threw for 4,700 yards with 38 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. While Tom Brady, now okay,
all right, I don't even have to look. He threw 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and threw for 4,633 yards.
Yep. I got 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 4,600, and his what was his completion percentage?
I don't know, 67.2.
65. So 66. So that's pretty good. Can you even
Yeah.
Hey, can you even do that on Ben? Can you do that on Big Ben?
Ooh.
I don't want to talk about Big Ben. I've been wanting to move on from Big Ben, but God, if we bring him back this year, obviously I know we're not trying to win a Super Bowl, so I'm gonna just look forward to 2022. So
You just know that what Mason's not the answer. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, come on, man. He ain't been the same. I was going to say he hasn't been the same since he got hit with a helmet, but he was horrible. He was horrible before then. Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, we got to find somebody. Like, Lord, let's trade for Deshaun Watson or something. But, yeah.
That.
No, Brady had a wonderful year. There was that time. I'm not going to lie. There was times I was like, you know what? Jameis Winston might be able to win with this team. Like, but no, Brady, I think, again, it was a lot of issues. They weren't able to, go through a regular offseason, right? So a lot of times they were, not on the same page. But if you really watch them, like when they click, just like how amazing they are. It's because there's times at the game where, the offense stalls and it might not be as good, but like there's times where they like piece together a few drives in a row and the offense just looks amazing. Like it almost looks unstoppable. And, it's just incredible for Brady to do what he did. I know he has a bunch of weapons and everything, but still, with all that said, it's crazy because I think Bruce Arians said it also like earlier this week, and he said it only took one man. He said he changed the whole belief of the team, right? It might not have even been so much as like the talent or what he brought to the football field, but just like everyone like mentally, how they prepare, different things like that. He was able to get him off the hump. Like he took a team that was borderline playoffs, took them to the Super Bowl. Didn't even make playoffs last year. So,
all great points, Chris. Totally agree. I think he's the greatest leader of all time. And we didn't talk about GOAT, but when Michael Jordan was winning, so back to Chicago stuff, right? Like, we weren't talking about Jordan at the time as the GOAT. We started talking about GOAT with Tom Brady, and now we talk about GOAT with everybody. And I don't know whether he's the best ever. He's the best winner, and he's had a lot of good fortune. But this year in particular, I think showed something to me, the fact that he could do what he did. But he's also makes a lot of good decisions. Like that's a great team. Like he made the right choice. He could have gone to the Chargers. He could have gone to some other teams, but he chose the right team. That team is stocked, and they're going to be good for the foreseeable future. It's fun.
All right.
Yep.
Give me closing statements on Tom Brady. Chris, are you ready for it? Closing statement.
Yeah.
Anything you got on Tom Brady?
Listen, might be the greatest athlete in any sport. I think he's obviously amazing. I agree with Mark. I don't know if he's the most like talented, right quarterback of all time? Because I do think there's room for Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes, a few other dudes. But I think when you just put everything together, right, like he's the ideal quarterback, and he's probably the second best of all time after Mahomes. So I'll
I,
say that.
all right, my closing statement off of Tom Brady, and you said it right there, and one of your key words you said was togetherness. I think it. I wish I had the word for it, but he his togetherness that he has this energy, he has this talent, he has this ability to do what he needs to do to compete at a high level, and he has that attitude of I need to win. If it'd be different, I think personally, if you went back maybe 5 years, 6 years, and maybe he didn't win a couple Super Bowls in there, right? How many Super Bowls did he win 6 years from the past 6 years?
He's won 6 in total.
Okay, so let's say he cuts that sucker in half. Let's say he's only got three. There's probably a chance that we're not having this conversation about Tom Brady, but because he's done that, I think that's just more fuel to that fire. He's like you know what he's like? He's not like gasoline where it blows up. Okay, you're not a Mitch Trubisky rookie year for all Bears fans seeing that the gasoline pour on the fire and you see the big rupture and you say hell yeah here we are, and you don't see, and he's not like Diesel where it's a slow burning where you see like a Jared Goff, right? He's kind of a slow burner. Okay, he's like a lighter fluid. You hit it, it's not gonna hurt you, but it's just going to keep coming. And it's just going to keep igniting that fire. And it's just going to keep going and going and going. I hope that was a great metaphor for that. If not, then it was a complete miss. But I thought that was perfect, is that it's like lighter fluid. You squeeze it on there. You can stand as close as you want. You don't want to touch it, right? But if you keep pouring it, it's just going to keep roasting, right? But it's not going to blow up in your face, and it's not going to take a long time to get up. It's going, and it's started in the beginning, and that's where we are now. It's just that stream of lighter fluid going in there, and that's Tom Brady. That's the best way I could put it. That's my closing statement. That's it. What do you got?
I think I've said a lot, so I won't say too much more. Uh, he has 33 playoff wins. He has more playoff wins than like 27 other teams. Like his stats just speak for themselves. So I hope he plays well. Um, the legend is there. It's just another a great tale for this legend, and I'm super proud and happy. So being from Boston, you have to understand the Patriots. You guys are too young. The Patriots were the laughing stock of the league the first 20 years of my life, or from age 5 to 25. They were a joke. They've been great for the last 20 years. But that's all. It's all because of Brady and Belichick. So I owe everything to Brady. He's definitely authored some of the greatest sports memories of my life, and I hope we get one more on Sunday. I will be there, and I can't wait.
All right. Before we go to trivia, real fast, Chris, final score.
Uh, 31-27. Jeez.
He took away the spread for me. I knew it.
Spread doesn't matter for me.
Yeah, I'm going to say 34-31 Bucks.
24-20 Bucks.
He's super quiet on it too. He's sitting there going,
I think the defenses they'll be play. Like, I know we think these guys are incredibly impressive offensively. They are, but everyone's going to be tight. Brady has never thrown he's never had a touchdown in the first quarter. He's had very few scores in the first half. So I don't know what it is, but it just takes him a while to get going. So that's part of it. I think the Bucks defense is good. I think it's going to be more low scoring than you think. And I think I could see it being 24-20 or maybe 27-24 the Chiefs win, but I'll go with 24-20 Bucks.
all right.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. All right. Let's move to trivia. I got, this is our part of our Some of these, I think Chris has the upper hand. Some of these, I think Mark has the upper hand.
Bring it, Chris.
If you asked me these questions, I probably would get 90% of them wrong. But here we go. All right, so we'll start off with a softball. All right.
I'll always give Chris the first chance. How's that?
All right, I like that. I was going to say, who wants to go first? All right, after the big win, where do most Super Bowl champions say that they're going?
This is an easy one. Disney.
Disney what?
Disney World.
All right, there it is. All right, I was making sure that he wasn't going to say.
I'm not gonna.
I thought you were going to say Disneyland. I was sitting there going, uh-oh, he's going to say Disneyland, and then he's going to get it wrong.
If you've been to both, one is 10 times better than the other. They go to Disney World.
Yeah. No, I honestly, that's why I said Disney, because I was like, yo, don't let me see the wrong one.
Yeah.
All right, that one, I don't even know who this man is. But, all right, the Arizona Cardinals are older. This is a true or false. The Arizona Cardinals are older than the state of Arizona. True or false?
The Arizona Cardinals or the Cardinals franchise?
I would say the Cardinals franchise. Maybe that's what they meant to say. The
think
Cardinals
that's what they
franchise,
probably mean to
yes,
say.
are older than the state of Arizona. True or false?
So we have to go back to St. Louis.
Yeah, this is a trick question too. I forgot about St. Louis, but I'll say true because I think Arizona's fairly young, right? So.
Yes.
I will. So it just doesn't seem to me. So Arizona as a state, I moved here 2 years ago. It's just over 100 years old or something, right? So Arizona has to be older than the St. Louis Cardinals. So, yeah. So the state's older.
All right. Hey,
Am I right?
OG, check how old Arizona is.
Roger.
It's like 112 years old. No, 2000. There was a sign that said it was like the 100-year anniversary in 2012. So
Think about how messed up that is. I went to a school in elementary, and we celebrated 100 years of that school being built. So that's messed up.
I think that's what I saw.
All right. Here we go. Now, this is my favorite one. This is a two-part question. OG, just let me know anytime or shoot it to me. How many teams in the NFL do not employ cheerleaders?
This is tough. I think because most of the time
I love this
see
question for Chris.
cheerleaders.
By the way, he should know.
Okay. I remember last week we had a team that didn't have cheerleaders, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna guess. I'm gonna say 6.
All right, so you mentioned the Steelers earlier to Chris. So, Chris, I didn't know you until tonight. So, do you have some Steeler background? You're a big Steeler fan?
Yeah, I'm a Steeler fan. Yeah.
So, I know the Steelers are one of them. And
Right,
I
same.
actually thought they were the only one. So, I think I thought it was one. I thought it was the Steelers.
All right, so Chris takes the ranking on this one. So Steelers are for sure. It is 6 on the dot.
Oh, nice.
Steelers, of course, the Browns do not have.
That makes sense, actually.
The Lions do not have them.
That's silly.
Really?
The Giants do not have them. The Packers for sure do not have them.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And of course, because I like this
The
one,
Chicago
Bears
Bears.
do not have one either. They've never had them. That is the biggest thing. I remember going to the games when I was younger going, Pops, like, how come we go to hockey games and, you get to see, like, these girls skating around and these things, but I don't get to go to a Bears game and see this. And he goes, that's the way life works. By the way, to fact check, their 48th state and 1912 is when they were. So
the state's older than the team.
Yeah. I might have been smoking. I don't know
Yeah,
when the NFL
but I got that
found,
one.
but
But I will say this cheerleader thing's interesting. Quick segue. The fact that it's all the NFC Central, right? It's the Packers, it's Green Bay, it's Detroit. What morons. Detroit has been playing indoors for years. How do they not have cheerleaders? Very, very silly. That's one of the reasons, another reason why that's one of the worst franchises ever. But more importantly, why would anyone choose to live in that area of the country where you can't have cheerleaders? Because it's cold and awful. Be where it's warm and nice in Arizona or California. Sorry, our producer, right? He's in Illinois, yeah?
yeah, but I'm from
Yeah,
Illinois
just
too, so-
piggyback off that Detroit thing there. This talent out there, well, there is no talent, so that's why they don't have cheerleaders.
Well, they're good at music in Detroit. Motown's awesome.
Yeah,
I
rock.
love Motown. But yeah, not cheerleaders, huh?
No.
All right.
I like it. All right. We got the next one coming up here.
Now I'm starting to get ready. Let's do more of this.
Oh, we
yeah?
got a bunch of these.
Okay,
We
good.
got a bunch of these.
All right, now I'm fine.
I didn't hold. I held back last time with Chris. This one, we got like 8 of these left.
Good.
All right. I like this one. Now remember, all of these cards are asking from 2018 and prior. So, if there's something that's wrong, then I apologize and we'll have someone fact check it. But for this one, this one you don't need to fact check because I got the answer right here. Who was the first team to lose the Super Bowl?
Gotta know the score.
You even know the score too?
I know the score. I know who the MVP of the game was.
Oh my God.
You go first, Chris.
Was the Packers the first team to win?
They're the first team that won. Who did they beat?
Let's think. I gotta think of like a storied franchise or something crazy like
This
that.
is funny.
Let me think. I don't know. For some reason, the Bears keep popping in my head, but I don't think that's right.
Should we give him a clue?
Wow.
All right, it's an AFC team.
Yes.
It's an
Yeah,
AFC.
It has to be AFC.
Has to be
the Super Bowl.
AFC West.
Yeah.
How's that? AFC
Yeah.
West.
AFC West.
Okay.
All right. Ooh, even better.
All right. Storied franchise. I think I got it. The Raiders.
The Raiders lost Super Bowl II 33-14 with LaMonica as the quarterback. Super Bowl I was 35-10 over the Chiefs. And Max McGee had 2 touchdowns. He was the MVP. He got drunk the night before because that's what you did back in 1968 or whenever that Super Bowl was.
Yeah, I would not have got that. I was gonna guess the NFC team, so there's no way without the clue I would have got that.
I mean, in all fairness, I wasn't born yet. I know you're half my age, but I do like Super Bowl trivia. Like this, I literally I know every game for the first 12.
All right. Here we go. Are you ready for this one? This should be easy. This should be a nice little softball again. If not, I probably would get this one wrong though. Okay. How many NFL stadiums are in the state of New York?
So I know the Meadowlands is in New Jersey. I know the Bills is in New York. So I'm actually trying to make sure I'm not missing any team in New York because you got the Giants, you got the Jets, you got the Bills. I think that. Why do I think there's one more team in New York? I don't know why, but let me think. One.
I think you're right. Like I feel like we're missing one too, but the fact that the Jets and the Giants play at the same one, so that's the same, and then maybe people forget about the Bills. So I like that, Chris. So, Phillies in Pennsylvania.
Right.
That's just 2. I mean, there's 3 franchises, but 2 stadiums.
Oh, you think there's 2 stadiums in New York?
2 state. Oh, there's only one. It's in New Jersey. Meadowlands is in New Jersey, so there's only one stadium in New York. There's the
New Era Field. There's one.
Yeah.
Originally Ralph Wilson Stadium
Yeah.
until 2015.
only one.
Then
yeah.
it became
That's
New
Jer-
Era
That's
Field.
Jersey. Yep.
Yep. All right. Little stumper there. I like it.
That stumped me. I should have been better at that one.
All right, here we go. The more fun stuff here. I like this. I like the trivia stuff here. All right. Herman Boone was the coach of the 1971 T.C. Williams High School team that inspired what 2000 film? I'll read it one more time.
Got it.
Herman Boone was the coach of the 1971 T.C. Williams High School team that inspired what 2000 film?
You know what? I don't know a bunch of early movies, but for some reason
Early?
I
That's
just thought of
2000?
Remember the Titans. I don't know. 'cause I
That's
feel
my
like
guess.
I'm in
Remember the
90s,
Titans. Remember the
so,
Titans.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington. That's the only one. That was my only guess, and that was a total guess.
All right, you got it. All right.
Good job,
now, this
Chris.
one,
You
this
get that
one,
one.
This one might be. Now, this one's probably gonna get Chris because he just struggled on 2000. So this one, I think Mark will probably get this one.
Probably.
All right, and I'm gonna try to pronounce the last
my
name.
hubris
And
right
the
now.
best is if I guarantee this is what's gonna happen here, Chris, is that if I mispronounce this last name, he's going to correct me and then know it right away. That's the best part about this. The Miami Sharks are coached by Tony D'Amato, played by Al Pacino in what movie? Chris, you
I
can.
actually think I knew this. I'm pretty sure it's The Replacements. Right with Keanu Reeves, or am I tripping?
I think you're tripping. I think you're tripping. I think it's the who's the guy that's saying gold digger, Jamie Foxx.
Oh yeah.
And
Jamie Foxx
it's
has
that movie with Al Pacino and the other dude. So what's that movie?
The movie is called Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, Any Given Sunday. That's the one.
God,
Yeah.
God, what the heck is The Replacements? Did I just make that up?
No,
Like,
The
I thought
Replacements
that's
is good. That's Gene Hackman and Keanu Reeves, which excellent movie based on that's Washington. I think that was kind of loosely based on the '87 strike season. Not a bad movie, but yeah, it's the Jamie Foxx. Who's the white dude in that one? The quarterback, the aging quarterback that Jamie Foxx played for. What's his name? I can't remember. Oh, I'm getting old, but whatever. Yeah. Moving on.
I remember Jamie Foxx's. I forget his name, but I remember his name. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yo, that's a hard name. I forget.
He played in
what
The
his
Rookie.
character's-
He was the pitcher in The Rookie as well.
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid, thank you.
There it
Yeah,
is.
Dennis Quaid was the aging quarterback that Jamie Foxx was taking over for.
See, I would have never guessed that. I can't even see Dennis Quaid playing a quarterback, but
Well,
yeah.
you're not.
Crazy.
Yeah, you're half as old as me. That's what happens.
All right, so if he's gonna say about how old he is, then let's see if he's got
How
this
old
one.
is Chris, by the way?
Same age, or 20,
I assume half my age.
25. 25.
Yeah, you guys are at a disadvantage.
All right. So then he called himself old. So let's see if he gets this one then. Right. Carl Weathers, the actor who played
Rocky.
Apollo Creed in the
Apollo
Rocky
Creed, yep.
films,
Yeah.
played for what NFL team in 1970?
I do not know this.
All right. So then that means I'll give a
But
clue because
I'll go with. All right.
Does
No,
Chris have anything?
Chris doesn't have anything in this. You got
Yeah,
nothing.
I
buddy.
was gonna go with the Eagles. Rocky, Philadelphia legend. Keep it within the city. You know.
Yeah, so I like where Chris was going with that. He could be right, but Rocky's more about Rocky Balboa, and Carl Weathers just was, the guy that against him. So I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings.
All right. Both of you are wrong. It is the Oakland Raiders.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, okay.
All right, this next one, it's dumb because it tells you the answer in the middle of it, so I don't like that one.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Which NFL franchise has been located, ready for this one? This should be easy. Okay, I think it's a nice little softball. Cleveland, Los Angeles, and St. Louis. Chris, what you got?
Oh, the Rams.
I think that's without saying.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know they were in Cleveland
the
to
Rams
begin.
were in
I don't know where they were
Cleveland?
in
Yeah.
Cleveland to begin with, but
I'm guessing they probably weren't the Rams then. OG, if you want to double check that one, look up Cleveland Rams and see what they come up with. I bet you they weren't the Rams then.
I will say the Rams in the 70s were like amazing. They had this guy, Lou Grant, was the coach. They were in 4 Super Bowls. They were, Lou Grant's, I'm sorry, that's the Minnesota Vikings. They're great in the 70s, but so weren't the Rams. They had Merlin Olsen. They had Jack Youngblood. They were unbelievable. They just could never win. They could never win. It's really hard to win a Super Bowl. The fact that Brady's won 6 is incredible.
It's
super hard.
One of the hardest things, right,
Yep.
to win in sports.
Yep.
OG, do you got anything on that one?
Yeah.
What do you got for, does Cleveland Rams pop up or is it something else?
Cleveland Rams comes up from 1936, 1942.
Okay.
Because when you seen Cleveland, I thought it was gonna be the Ravens. Because I think they moved from Cleveland. I think
They did,
they
yeah.
had like some
95.
some story like that. So
The Cleveland Browns were unbelievable in the 50s. I'm sorry, the 60s with Jim Brown. Before they had Super Bowls, they and the Packers were dominating and winning championships, but they didn't have the Super Bowl until 67, 68. So, and Cleveland's never gotten to the Super Bowl. Oh, that's a good. All right, let's do that one. Can I have a trivia question? Name all of the franchises that have never played in a Super Bowl.
That was one of the questions in one of the trivia things too. That sucks.
Yep. We'll forget 1 or 2 of them, but I think I got you guys.
How many are there? Can you give us that
Probably
list?
6 or 7.
All right, I know Cleveland Browns are 1.
Yep.
yeah,
I'll look right now. I'll call it up, but I'm not going to look at
Lions.
Lions for sure.
Lions. Okay.
Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not looking yet.
Yeah.
Jaguars. Okay.
Come on, boys. You can do this.
Dolphins have been there. Jets have been there.
Jets have been there once.
Giants have been there. Let's see.
The Texans,
Ooh, I like that
Texans
one.
because it.
have not been there. That is correct. How's my voice now? Is it good?
Yeah, it's
Now,
nice.
now I'm more of a host, right?
Uh,
Okay, that's it for the AFC. There's no one else left in the AFC because Tennessee made it. It's crazy to think, but they did.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so then how many you got? How many are there?
I think we might be almost done.
There's probably one more, right?
Yes,
Atlanta, New
there's
Orleans, Tampa. They've
No,
all made
Carolina got there.
it. Carolina
so that's
got
weird.
there.
I think that's it.
One's Arizona was there against.
Arizona got there. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are them. Yep. But very few, and that tells you how bad the Lions franchise is. They've never they've only gotten to one NFC Championship game, and we've established they don't have cheerleaders. So yeah. Hopefully,
It's a bad
hopefully the
franchise all around.
Jared Goff era is good for those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, if there's any Detroit Lions fans, listen, after y'all got Jared Goff, y'all packing it in next year. Ain't no way y'all winning. Ain't no way y'all winning.
All right, here we go. This will be a quick one. We won't talk too much on this one. What is the name for the words or noises that a quarterback verbalizes before the snap of a ball?
Audible.
Yep. Good job, Chris.
What is the name for the words? I'm gonna say that again. What is the name for the words or the noises that a quarterback verbalizes before the snap of the ball? What is the name? What is the name of the stuff that he's calling? He's not actually calling an audible. Think about it. I'll say it like this. What is it called when I say blue 40, right? Like that happens every single time. There's no way that's an audible every single time that he's doing that. Or when I played
Formation.
When I played high school football, right? And they would say down, ready, set, go, right? What's that before the go? What would you call that?
Don't know.
I thought it was a softball. Chris, nothing?
No.
Cadence.
I
Oh.
thought about that.
Softball. I thought it was a softball.
Yeah, I thought about it. It's in my head. Didn't think it was right.
I was thinking, I was gonna say like check because I thought you were like they were like checking down something, but yeah, that makes sense.
Do we see how good this Buccaneers outfit looks? It's really good for this podcast. It's like really good, right?
He's loving it. He's like, yeah.
Dude, I'm representing. I'm at the Super Bowl. Like, come on, man.
All right.
You might have to wear it on Sunday.
Oh, I will. I am going to wear this on Sunday for sure.
All right, we're coming to the end of the trivia here.
Gotcha.
All right. Here we go. What was the importance of a 1939 game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Brooklyn Dodgers? What was the importance behind it? What was it? What is it known for? I guess you could say.
This is a shot in the dark. A football team played a baseball team. Like,
yeah, don't know. I mean, it's before World War World War II.
It was the first game to be televised.
Gotcha.
All right, well done with that one. The one below it talks about 2-point conversion. It literally says it in the answers.
man, I ain't even.
I know there's only been one team to convert two of them in a Super Bowl, and they did that to tie the game to win in overtime. And I was there. Yeah.
We don't want to hear about it anymore on that
Okay.
one.
Sorry.
I didn't know they like had TVs in the 30s to be 100% honest. So
I didn't either, actually.
I hope that these are right. Could you imagine if these were all wrong and like we were sitting here like idiots?
We'd have a lot of people subscribed, and then they would be upset and unsubscribe.
Exactly.
yeah,
All right.
you'd be getting a lot of DMs.
All right. What is the longest running rivalry in the NFL history?
I know.
Honestly, I think it's the Bears and Packers.
That is correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew Kyle wanted that one because he's trying to get any sort of Bears trivia he can.
Always.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
about
he was cheesing.
something about being old.
Oh, I have a little bit. So, all right, Kyle. I don't mean to go sideways for a second here, but you're a big Bears fan. You were when were you born? Late 80s?
1996. Late 80s.
Late 80s. I don't know. I can't do the math. All right. So you do know that one of the greatest football teams ever was the '85 Bears.
100%.
Right? 18-1. They lose on Monday Night Football to Dan Marino and the Dolphins. I still hate the '72 Dolphins. So you know that. You grew up knowing that the Bears, like, they still talk about it today. Right?
Monsters of Midway, yeah.
Monsters of Midway, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Buddy Ryan, Ditka, what have you. I was at that game. 1986, January 20, 1986. I was 16 years old. I was at that game. Patriots scored the first field goal to go up 3-0, 21-3 at the half. They were down 46-3 until they lost 46-10. I was at that game. They did the Super Bowl shuffle at halftime. It's a terrible memory for me, a lot of trauma, and now I feel better about my Patriots and Tom Brady because that was where I was as a teenager.
Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows if the Bears or if that game if they would have been reverse of whatever happened. Who knows what would happen after that? You know,
Dean, Hampton, Peyton.
You would have saw Tom Brady on the Miami Dolphins or something.
Bears, unbelievable. One of the best teams ever. Should have gone undefeated.
Who was
Frickin'
all right?
Dolphins.
Here we go. We got the final 4 questions.
Got it.
And we're gonna end one. Our final one will be a college question of where someone went.
Oh, you guys have a chance to beat me on that one.
All right, but this one
Oh.
first is who was the first African American coach to win the Super Bowl?
Got it.
Tony Dungy.
Yep.
Boom, got it, easy. Great game, great team.
Should have been at that Super Bowl. Patriots are up 21-3 at the half. They lost to Peyton Manning 38-35, and they ended up beating your Rex Grossman and the Bears it was in Miami, I think,
Yep,
right?
it was in Miami.
My favorite singer in the whole world was Prince. He did the halftime show. Supposed to be at that game, but the Patriots did
Can you
not
guys
win.
tell me who returned the kickoff return for how far?
Devin Hester,
Do you know how far?
103.
100. Yep.
92.
Oh, that's close.
That's when they used to.
No,
That's when.
I
Yeah,
thought it was 130.
that's when they used to kick the ball off from like the 30-yard line. So he caught it at the 8-yard line. And you want to know, little fun fact on that one is right before that kickoff, the announcer, I don't forget, I might have been Jim Nance. I'm not exactly sure who it was, but they said that the Colts struggled on special teams on kickoffs, and with the team coming back at them, they've struggled this year, and they want to keep away from Devin Hester, and sure enough, it happened. I remember the exact date. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember exactly where I was, everything that happened that day. That's another time for that.
One thing I want to say, Devin Hester should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know whether he's eligible this year, last year, or next year. Like, it's really close. It feels like he's been out 5 years, but he's one of the best return men in the history of the NFL. He should be in.
Yep.
All right, actually, we'll have only 2 questions left here.
All right, fine.
Final-
I'll probably
final
make
card.
up a question too at the end.
All right. Here, easy. Softball. Where is the Pro Football Hall of Fame located?
Can.
Yep. I'd like to. You know what? Would you guys ever go there?
No.
Yeah, I would go there. I think.
I think once. You know what? I will be there. I will be there 5 years from Tom Brady's last season. I will be in Canton, Ohio for his what do you call it? Whatever it's called. Yeah, I will
Induction.
be there. Induction. Thank you.
All right, final one. It's a college one. What University of Southern California quarterback was drafted number 1 overall in 2003?
This is actually a trick because I know this one. So at first I wanted to think it was Matt Leinart, but it was actually Carson Palmer.
Yep, I think it's Carson Palmer. That would be my guess.
100% Carson Palmer.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, till you said first pick, because I was thinking, like, once you said that, I was a huge USC fan back in the day. Like, that was, like, my favorite college football team with, like, Reggie Bush, Dwayne Jet. They had a bunch of people that
They
I
were
just was, like,
awesome.
a real huge fan of. Yeah.
They were like a pro team. That was awesome.
Is Carson Palmer still playing?
No, he retired.
When did he
No,
retire?
no.
Maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, not.
What team
Not
did he
super
what
long
team,
ago.
what team did he end with?
Good trivia question. What team did he end with?
I don't think it was the Cardinals. I think it was.
No, I think it was. He went to the
was?
Raiders, but I think he finished with the Cardinals.
Let's check it out. Checking.
We call it in the biz efforting.
Yeah, I think he did end with the Cardinals.
Yeah, come on. Give me. You could give me like 17 more. Got this.
I got nothing else. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he went to the Raiders. Then he joined.
Yeah.
He went
All
back
right.
to them.
What else you guys got to ask me?
That's it. That's all I got for us here today. I don't know. I
All
mean, we ran a little bit long of where we were supposed to go, but it's
got
all
a
right.
hot date
It's a
tonight,
Super Bowl
jeez.
special. That's what I thought. I thought a few drinks. Looks like I got a lot of sun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I will tell you this one, Chris. I will send you the picture, and I'll make sure that the listeners see this picture. But today we went golfing with no prior discussions on what we were wearing. He just said, "Hey, I'm gonna wear the best golf outfit you've ever seen," and I said, "All right, bet." I came up with my red pants and a red shirt, both not matching at all, and I get out of the car to see him coming out the door wearing white pants with a white shirt.
And a white hat.
White hat too, white mask, white band on the watch too, everything.
White. Yeah.
It was all white everything.
Yep.
Yep.
I did see you golf earlier, so I see you're practicing for the next time we go out there. So that's nice to know.
And the last thing we'll say about today's golf round is how many birdies did you have today?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
0. How many did you have?
Two.
2.
Yep. Should have been 4, but I had
The best was, all I say is this, Chris, is the best thing that was said and what happened after this is that I chipped it and it probably trickled in and it sat within like about 3 inches from the pin. And I looked at him and I said, checkmate. And he was a little bit in front of me, but he was still like the same amount of grass too. He ended up putting it and put the ball in the hole. And looks at me and he's running around the hole going, checkmate to you.
Yes, I will never forget that moment for as long as I live.
So
Yeah. I'm telling you, you always remember the good holes. I only have one career birdie, and trust me, I would be taking that to the grave with me if I never get another one. So.
All right, Chris, we got to get you out there. I have a spreadsheet. I've had 177 birdies in 10 years. I know every single one, where it was at, and who I was with. So I look forward to the day we play. You get one, I get one. We put it on the spreadsheet.
I'll be lucky if I get a bogey that day.
That's fine too.
Look, all I'll say is this: is Chris was with me that day, and I told you earlier, Wisconsin. Remember, we played in Wisconsin. I will say this, and we'll wrap this sucker up here in a second. But you and I, we played in Wisconsin, and it was him and I on a hole together, right? And I wouldn't say by any means that's a strong team, right? I mean, I wouldn't say, especially that day too. I mean, it's the first day before we go into like a good long weekend of 4th of July. And, it's the two of us plus Jacob, which we've met, and our other buddy Alex. And it's that rough that's like, it's super long. It's like if you're in your neighbor's backyard that doesn't cut their grass every week. It's like if they cut it every 3 weeks, so it's super long. And I think we stayed in the rough all the way to the green, and we ended up doing best ball, and we ended up getting like a 6. And they ended up getting a 7. And I looked at Chris and I go, we played horrible, and we still beat them. I go, that just shows that we may not be the best team, but if we're in the rough all the way to the green, we can still beat these bums.
That's true. That is true. I do remember that hole. That is true. I think I was horrible that day, like beyond horrible, but I do remember that.
Golf's the best. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys today. Thanks for having me.
No, for
Yeah,
sure.
I appreciate you both coming on and this Super Bowl special. So we have 2 people that think, I'm not exactly saying the Bucs are going to win. I think they're just going to cover for me. But this man over here thinks the Bucs are going to win. We got a Chiefs winner over there, and we got it all.
24-20.
24-20.
I'm there.
He's going for the under. I'm too young to bet the under, as Barstool always says. So.
That is true.
Other than that, I think that's where we wrap this sucker up. OG, any underlying issues that maybe we spoke about that something that may have been wrong, or anything from your end? Actually, I'd like to hear what your pick is. Who to win
I'm
and
gonna
for how
go
much?
45-36 Chiefs.
45, 30.
Crack.
So is OG is he like the old Tony Reale where like part of the interruption where we go to like errors and omissions? Is that?
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't know I had that. How did I do? Did I make any wrong comments or?
No, yeah, you're pretty good. I mean, I didn't fact check everything.
All right. Well, I'm probably my confidence level is super high, so I wouldn't check.
You
either.
sold it really well.
Yeah, that's all you got to
That's
do
all
is
that
sell
matters.
it. Yeah, I could sell anything.
All right, perfect. And then, all right, well, I appreciate you guys coming on.